years to keep peace and security in the world, however imperfectly, that those principles are being challenged, that order is being challenged. And if we allow that to stand with impunity, then we open a Pandora's box where this will not be the last conflict that we see. It will be the first of more to come. So we have a profound interest in doing everything we can to end Russia's war of aggression in Ukraine, and it's an interest that is felt very profoundly here. The President asked me to come here now to Estonia, but also to Lithuania and to Latvia, our Baltic partners and allies, to make one thing absolutely clear, and that's his absolute commitment, the absolute commitment of the United States to making good on our commitments to our NATO allies and partners, to making sure that we're prepared and we will defend every inch of NATO territory if it comes under attack. And it's important that our friends in Estonia know that they can count on that, because I know how concerned people are, how nervous they are about the implications for them of what's happening in Ukraine. But the bottom line is this: every country should have its sovereignty respected. Every country deserves to be able to make its own choices about its future, its policies, with whom it will associate. And that's what's at stake when it comes to Russia's aggression against Ukraine. I really appreciate the fact that even as you've been grappling with this, even as you've been grappling with COVID, which I want to come back to, you've done remarkable work to continue to build, to strengthen the relationship between the United States and Estonia. There are a couple of people that I just want to single out very quickly for the great work that they've done and that they've led. I don't know if they're actually here in the room today, but is Megan Naylor here anywhere? There, Megan. Thank you for 5 months of intensive diplomacy on something that people don't fully necessarily grasp, but that is of huge importance, and that's the global minimum tax. And working with our Estonian partners to secure their support for that. That's going to have a powerful effect going forward in making sure we don't have a race to the bottom around the world in search of low tax rates, giving countries a real resource base to actually provide for their people. It's one of the most important achievements I think we've had over the last year, and I thank you for your part in making it real. Thank you. I know we have colleagues here from the Secret Service, from the FBI, who've done such incredible work with our Estonian partners on cybersecurity. Again, one of the great challenges that we face. We have in Estonia one of the strongest partners anywhere in the world because of their remarkable facility with all things cyber. And I'm really grateful to our colleagues from the Secret Service, the FBI, for the great work they've done in working with our Estonian partners. We've seen in this crisis new levels of collaboration and coordination. To folks who are here with the Defense Attaché's office, the Office of Defense Cooperation, what you've done working with the Estonians to facilitate the transfer of javelins and other defense equipment to our Ukrainian friends has made a huge difference, and we're grateful for that. And then to colleagues who are here from the consular section, going the extra mile, including working to support American citizens in Russia after the close of our consular section in Moscow. All of these things are making a huge difference, and they're making a big difference in people's lives. As the Chargé said, I know that here, as in embassies around the world, you've had to do your work over the last 2 years and deal with COVID at the same time. That's had a big impact on the professional part of your lives. I know for many it's had an impact on the personal part of your lives. Some getting sick, some losing loved ones. But through all of this, you've kept going with tremendous resilience, with tremendous camaraderie, looking out for each other. And I especially want to thank the management and med units here for keeping the embassy safe and getting us through COVID. Finally, I want to mention a couple of people by name. And again, I'm not sure if they're here with us today, but let me just say the locally employed staff here, as in every embassy, are the lifeblood of this mission, of this institution. We can't do what we do without you, without that partnership. I'm so grateful for it, and I want to mention Tommy Vidla. Is Tommy here? Trying to see? No. Not here? Well, LE Staff of the Year, and so I just wanted to recognize that. And let me just mention a couple of other people as well. Craig Schaefer, Tina Mills, Tonyu Ya. Are any of you here today? Yep. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everything you've done to keep people connected, for the exceptional IT services that you've helped provide. I know there was a telephone upgrade for the entire mission. Having had a few telephone issues of my own back home, I know how challenging that is. So thanks for getting that done. And then finally, to the Community Liaison Officer, Melissa Padgett. Melissa, are you here anywhere? There. Melissa, thank you most of all for everything you've done to just keep people's spirits high. That makes all the difference in the world, especially in a challenging time, whether it's COVID, whether it's the challenge we're dealing now with Ukraine. I understand, and I'm actually extremely jealous that I'm not around to benefit from that, so I may have to come back. Sauna trips to Estonian bogs, that sounds very good. Cross-country skiing, obviously great. I'm not quite sure what to make of this. A ghost tour of Old Tallinn. That sounds like something I'd want to try to do. Sounds like ghost stories in the old city. Great, all right, I'm coming back for that. Finally, let me end with this. As you all know better than anyone, we are in a particularly special year in this relationship, about to celebrate 100 years of diplomatic relations. And I know you've got 100 days to 100 years with events planned as we lead up to that. That in and of itself is a remarkable story. It's a story of many ups and downs of history, particularly for Estonia, but also something incredibly constant, and that is the relationship itself and our commitment to stick with our Ukrainian partners through thick and thin. And it's no more vital than it is today. So I'm grateful for that. Now, finally, there's someone who has served here for the 30 years since we've reestablished this mission. Evelyn Lasner, are you here? Evelyn. The very first employee when the embassy reopened, right there, thank you. I was seeing applause over there, thank you. Very first employee when the embassy reopened. You've seen Estonia go from Soviet occupation to this incredibly flourishing democracy. I understand that you're retiring this year. I didn't want to let this day go by without saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And finally, whether you are locally employed staff, whether you're a foreign service officer, a civil servant, whether you're a family member, because family members too are our frontline diplomats, and we know how much you do to build this relationship, how much you do representing your country. Whether you're from any of the other agencies that we're privileged to work with, from the Defense Department, DHS, DOJ, AID, thank you, thank you, thank you for what you're doing. It makes a difference that, you know, many of our fellow citizens back home don't necessarily see, but in ways big and small that they're actually going to feel in their lives. I'm grateful to you, and finally, to all of you who worked on putting this trip together on pretty short notice. I know how much goes into that, and all I can say is have a great Wheels Up party. Thank you.
You can have the press